Okay, so yesterday I discussed the issues I ran into with setting this drive up. In particular, the fact that natively the drive is a MBR or DOS drive, and natively it is not support more than 2 terabytes, and this is a 4 terabyte drive. So I did a little research, and hopefully this will work. I'm going to try using part and see if that will let us do partition the drive by making it using a different label. So you can, each drive has partition types. That is what tells the drive where everything is. Um, so with DOS, it's the master boot record. There are other kinds for AIX, for Mac, for the one that we're going to use is GBT. So let's see if we can get this done. The first thing is I need to get into, okay, I'm going to use parted. I think it's parted. Dev SDB, which we know is our drive, because and we looked at this yesterday. So this is the drive that we've been using. This is a new one. This is for the Windows. So, let's see. So we're gonna do, let's look at help. And we got make label, we got remove partition, we need make a partition, and so let's see what we're going to do here. So we're going to do make label, MKLABEL, GPT. Warning, the existing disk label, and okay, we know that. So we're going to type yes. We don't have no data on it, so we don't care. And now the next thing that has to happen is we're gonna, let's see here. So let's type print, and you can see it knows it's a 4 gigabyte drive. We have no partitions, so we're gonna do, let's see if we wanna, yeah, it's the first one. Make part primary, ext4. Let's see what happens. See if it likes this. 0. Oh, wait. I believe there is a command. Select device. Unit TB. Make part primary ext4 0 through 4. Let's see if it likes that. Print. And perfect. So once I did all my research, you can see this was pretty easy. So it now knows it has a primary partition. Now the thing is that we can't use it yet. There's some additional steps that we have to take. So it is, we're gonna quit out of this, because quitting we'll save everything. And now that we will talk about. That is how it knows how to mount it. But let's see. So now we have to format it. And again, this is a dangerous command, so you have to do sudo kfs-t ext4 dev sdb1, and hopefully this will do what we need it to do. So it's doing its thing. And so it's doing everything it needs to do right now to make that block usable. And there you go. Let's see if we can even see it yet. We do not see it yet because it is not mounted. That's the next step. So let's see. Well, we're going to want to, what I want to do is I want to make a mount point of and that is going to be, I'm going to call it home 2. See if it likes that. Yeah. Sudo mount -t auto dev sdb1 home 2. Let's see if we can see it. There it is, right here on the bottom. And so there's nothing on it yet. But this will now give us, we can offload a lot of stuff. Now actually what I would like to do is move my home drive there. But at any rate, so it's mounted. And the next thing you got to do is there's something called the fstab file. Let's see if I can find the right example. Okay. And we want it, so let's do this. Let's see if I can bring this up. Okay, so what do we got here? This is you know what I'm gonna do? Let's see. So this is our, let's see if I can make this wider and make it, there we go. Well, that's interesting. So we trying to see where they mounted it in this example. Backup. Okay. So what we have to do is we are going to see if this works. I won't know until I reboot, but let's do home 2. Let's see. File system. Mount point. So okay, let's whoop. Let's have a look at what they did in this example. Here, label equals. Okay, let's follow this example. What? You know what? I'm gonna No, you know what? I'm not gonna write quick. A. And I'm gonna just say and defaults, and I'm gonna do 1 and 1 and which get have to escape out. This is VI. This is editor I'm very familiar with. Not as easy as Atom, but can't open file. Okay, so we're gonna call this FS tab. Now where are we? Okay. It's small. I'm just going to copy it. So let's go into ECT. Okay, so I'm going to move fstab-old and move fstab2 to fstab. Now, and you can see now we got our drive specified, and hopefully this will work. But you can see, so I can go into Home 2, let's see, videos. So I can now look. Okay. So what I need to do here is, well, I can do a sudo. Now you got a videos directory. Let's see if I got this command right. Other way around. Oh, again, I need a sudo here. But you can see that it will let me put this videos directory here, because the Home 2 directory is protected. Then that's why I need to use sudo. In fact, what I may want to do is change Home 2 to allow for more freedom in terms of writing, so I don't have to use sudo, because that can cause a problem. But anyway, as you can see, with a little bit of research, I was able to find my way around this issue by using GNU Parted, and by changing the way the essentially the table, the piece of data that tells the drive where everything is on the drive, to a more modern format, which is the GPT, I was able to make a 4 terabyte drive, and now, as you can see, I have 4 terabytes to move all my stuff that from my home drive to the second drive, and that'll make things a lot easier. So hopefully this has been helpful to you, especially if you are getting into Linux, and if you're getting into programming and you're getting into this, the more technical end, I would definitely recommend, if you're not already familiar with Linux, learn it. Get yourself a cheap box or take an old box and put Linux on it. Learn how to install it. Get used to the commands. My experience is I've worked, depending on what project I was working on, professionally. Sometimes I used a Windows box, sometimes I used a Linux box. Personally, for development, I prefer a Linux box. I'm used to the commands, has a wide variety of commands. You can, once you get used to it. The other thing that's interesting about Linux versus Windows is the way, when you use a Windows box or a Linux box, or you can often have multiple applications going. You got your browser, you got your email, you may have your programming, your IDE, or whatever else you're doing, right? So you have all that stuff, and there's, it's basically multitasking. You got multiple things going. It's better now, but years ago, especially in the earlier version of Windows, if one program caused an issue, it can freeze up, and this still may be the case. I don't encounter it that often now, but it can freeze up the whole machine because the task would have to release itself before another task can get in. So there are times where one application freezing can keep the other, everything else from running. You got a frozen computer and you have to reboot. Again, that does not happen that often anymore, but Linux has always been where everything is separate. If one app gets into trouble, it's not going to hold on to the processor and not let the other apps do what they need to do. The one advantage that still I think it has in a practical sense is Windows relies on what they call the registry, and if you're not familiar with that, that's the database that tells everything about all the stuff that's on that machine. And if that gets messed up, you can have a problem with that app. You can have a problem. I've run into situations where I couldn't uninstall something. I couldn't get it to work, and because something was messed up in the registry. Linux doesn't have that. Each app is independent. You don't have to go through a complex uninstall or hope that they have a good uninstall process. You don't want something on your box anymore, you delete it. Gone. It's not hanging out, in some database, potentially causing issues. So anyway, hopefully again this has been useful. If it has been, then please give it a like. If you want to see more, please give it subscribe, ring the bell. We will be getting into doing some more of the technical, the substrate stuff that we've been doing. Would like to install or do the exercise where we add the contract functionality to a substrate blockchain. So again, thank you and take care.